What's going on, YouTube world? Hope you're having a good day. I want to say a special thank you to all my subscribers and all my followers who's really showing me the support and showing me the love and giving me that good energy that's keeping me going and keep pushing this truth because we need each other at this time. Like I keep saying, we need each other. We really have to unify. We really have to start coming out of our behind our masks, our egos, and start taking that risk. Start being courageous. Start putting ourselves out there in whatever way is comfortable for you. But I mean, we got to start making that little, you know what I mean, making them steps towards this change because I'm telling you, that 3D place that we're coming from, it's not the place to be anymore. You see what I'm saying? But today I want to talk about labels. The labels, the labels that society has given to us, which has separated us. And we adapt to these labels unknowingly and we don't realize we're doing it. You see what I'm saying? Now, it said, I'm going to read a verse from the Bible. This is Romans 8:13. Romans 8:12. Therefore, brethren, we are debtors, not to the flesh, to live according to the flesh. For if you live according to the flesh, you will die. But if by the Spirit you put to death the deeds of the body, you will live. For as many as are led by the Spirit of God, these are sons of God. For you did not receive the spirit of bondage again to fear, but you received the spirit of adoption by whom we cry out, Abba, Father. The Spirit himself bears witness with our spirit that we are children of God. See, there's a reason why I read that verse. Because it speaks about us not. Now, I'm not a Christian. I don't follow any religion. I've studied them. I've been through the religions, but I have been blessed with discernment. I can look into religious books, whatever, any type of religion books, and I can find the truth and I can decipher and leave what I feel like is coming from the mind, not coming from the soul. So this is what I'm trying to get to now. So these labels that they've given us, black, white, Asian, Chinese, Jamaican, African, all these names and labels, they limit us. They put us into categories. And then when we're born, we come out and we're born into a category and we have levels and we're either put into a section of being inferior or superior, depending on what color you are and where you're from and what religion and whereabouts you live. So it says right there in the Bible to not identify with the flesh. It is our vessel. Yes, we're meant to look after it. Yes, we're meant to love it. But we're not meant to identify with it and idolize it and think that we are it. It's a vehicle. It would be like identifying and idolizing your car, which I know some people do, but like to the point where like you're willing to die for it. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what you're willing to kill yourself for it. Meaning that you're willing to do things that is not in alignment with your soul and kill your soul inside every day just so you can have this image on the outside. You see what I'm saying? So this is where they've entrapped us with these labels. You see, because it says in the Bible as well, I should really get the verse. But it says in the last days, that the devil will deceive the world. Okay? But how? They don't tell you how does the devil deceive the world. They never tell you that. You know what I'm saying? They just say, oh, the devil's deceiving the world, and when you do this and do that, you're a bad person. But how? Why do we keep falling into these traps? Why do we keep doing lower self things? What's the solution? Because this has been going on for how many generations? And people have been going church, have been going mosque, have been going to all these religious temples, There's so much religion people who put a lot of their time and effort into this, but why is the world still in the same place? Does nobody ask themselves that question? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, is it cool for you in your household to be living all right, but the rest of the world is suffering, and you know the suffering's going on, and really and truly deep down we're all suffering. Everyone's suffering because everyone's living by the flesh. So when they give us these labels now, black, white, when you identify with black, straight away, they have put out that black is inferior. That's the label. That's what goes with being black in this world, that in this 3 dimension that we're in at this precise time. And if you're born white, you're inferior, you're superior. You have a superior complex. Now, I'm not saying that all white people entertain and want to embrace this superior complex, but I'm saying on a subconscious level, you will still identify with it, and you will still be aware that you could get away with some things that maybe someone of color couldn't. I'm not saying that you're going to abuse it. There's lots of people out there that will abuse it and that do abuse it daily, but there's people that won't abuse it. But I'm saying subconsciously, you're still aware that you could do something and push and push the line where some other people who is black or of other colors couldn't do the same way. Well, you can do, but you know there's going to be a consequence, a harsh consequence. You see, and it's the same for black now. We fall into, they try to make the black race fall into an inferior complex, where the world is programmed to believe that we are bad people, that if you're black or if you're brown, you're more likely to have an angry, aggressive nature, and you're more likely to lash out and attack and commit crimes. That's the label. That's what goes with being black. Sorry, I got lost for words there. So we are all, even though we might not consciously believe these things, subconsciously it's been pumped into us to believe in these complexes, to believe in these labels. And we don't realize that we're living by these labels. We even put ourselves in these categories. And we're aware of it. So this is how the devil deceived us. Because it says right there to not attach to the flesh. Once you attach to the flesh, that's when all the destruction, that's when things start to go downhill. So when we're attaching to the flesh and we're saying that we're black, we're white, we're Asian, we're this, we're that, it puts us into a category. And then we actually subconsciously accept this category, and then we find it hard to grow out of this and to overcome it. So you see what black people have been put into, inferior complex. We've been dealt with, our ancestors got dealt with disgustingly. Like no one cannot say that over the last couple hundred years our ancestors have been dealt with the worse. I don't know if it's been like, if it was different before, because things always change, you know. You see what I'm saying? It changes. Whoever is at the top now there was a time when it would have been the other way around. You see what I'm saying? Everybody gets their chance. So it's this attachments to labels. This is what's causing the confusion. This is what's causing it. Black lives matters. All lives matter. The religions, all these different labels, they cause confusion because they cause us to separate. No, we can't link up with that guy because he's a Muslim, or he's this, or he's a Rasta, and nah, I can't. You know what I'm saying? I don't deal with them people there because they're idol worshippers and all this bullshit. I'm telling you, it's all bullshit. It's all rubbish. It's all rubbish. All of that is bullshit. Every single person who goes around saying, I can't deal with that person because they're idol worshippers themselves. Because they're worshipping their own flesh. They're worshipping their own nation. And they are looking down on that nation and that skin color of people or that religion, and that is idol worshipping. You're putting yourself above them. You see what I'm saying? We have to get out of this deceit. There's nobody deceiving us. We are deceiving ourselves. We have been deceiving ourselves. We got manipulated into deceiving ourselves. These people studied and examined and seen how we operate, how the mind works, how the human body works, how we think, what we would do. They done experiments, what we would do if we was in deprived, overcrowded areas, if we're deprived of food and basic things we need, how we will start acting. They knew this stuff, and they put us into these situations and gave us these labels. You're a gang member, you're this, you're that. It's all bullshit. You're none of it. You are a spirit, you are a soul that has come into this physical body to have this physical experience and express yourself and bring that wisdom that your soul has carried for how many millions or whatever amount of years we've been existing. You're meant to bring that to this reality. But you see, when you attach to the flesh and they got you attaching to all these labels, then you suppress the spirit, because the world tells you that you got to be this modest person, you got to be a certain way, and if you act a certain way, you're going to look funny, you're going to stand out, and you got people walking around and they're thinking, oh, I can't do this, how am I going to look, how am I going to act, how are they going to see? You see what I'm saying? So then you're shutting, every time you hear that part inside of you wanting to come out and you tell it to be quiet, you're shutting down your soul, you're shutting down God, creation. Because you're listening to the mind. The mind has been manipulated by this world because they've put the ego on the pedestal. They've put the false persona on the pedestal, on the media, on the TV. They put that character on the pedestal. So now it's attractive for us to act like that. And we think that any other way of acting, coming from the soul, coming from the spirit, being truthful, being humble, being who you truly are, but being a peaceful warrior at the same time, knowing when to stand your ground and stand up for what you need to stand up for. I ain't saying to be no pushover, trust me. So when you talk from the soul, you see, people are afraid of that. They don't want to put that on a pedestal. They want to put that down and make you look mad when you're expressive and you be who you are and you don't care what people think. That's why they labeled all these. They were ready for these last days, and they created all these categories and certain things. So when people start waking up and start realizing who they are, they're going to try and label you something because they've already had this thing called a mad home, and they say if people start doing this, then they're going crazy. You see, they had all these plans in motions. If you watch movies like the 12 Monkeys and all that type of stuff, it will show you their little plans and what I'm talking about. You see what I'm saying? It will show you that they quickly, like, they know how we're going to act when we start to activate and wake up. So what they will do, they will from the 60s, 70s, they will show characters in movies like awakening up and make them seem like they're mad. So when it comes to the time, people will start labeling and start getting scared. But really and truly, you have it inside you. You have the spirit inside you that just wants to be and say and do what it wants to do, but not in a destructive, not in an egotistical way. That's what them satanic guys like Aleister Crowley, they got it confused. You see, they moved away from religion because they seen it as control, and they knew that they wanted to do what they wanted, do as thy will. But you see, they got confused. They done as they want from a pleasure-seeking, egotistical, from the mind, from chasing pleasure. They didn't heal themselves. They didn't deal with it in the pain. They went and done what they want from an egotistical way, but they still had a deeper understanding, the connection to the divine. But you see, because they didn't understand the thin line, they went to religions they didn't understand. They've seen it as control, this whole Jesus thing, but they didn't realize that the God is within. See, they separated. So when they now found out, you know what, we can do what we want, they took it, they misunderstood that. It's not doing as I want, and I can use anybody and do what I want to people and use people for sexual pleasure and do, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying you can't have sex and you can't do these things, but I'm saying you're not going around hurting people and using people and leaving people feeling a certain way so you can feel better, so your service to self. That's the only difference. That's all it's about. This is service to others, where we serve others and we do to others what we would like done to us, which in return makes us happy and then the other person's happy. When you go around in life treating other people how you would like to be treated, you are much more of a happier person. When you go around using, abusing, dealing with people like they're below you, you are a miserable person, and you think that your misery is coming from outside things and what people are doing, but your misery is actually coming from how you're going around dealing with people. That's the reality. So we have to get in tune with this. We are one. I am you. You are me. So if I deal with you in a certain way, it's going to affect me because we are connected. Forget the physical. In the spiritual and the energy, there's a net, and we are all connected. We are all one. But within this one net, we are all unique. We are our own portion of this same energy. Because of the different life experiences we've had along our journeys, through our incarnations, we've had different experiences, which makes us unique. But we are all coming from the light. We are all here to express love and light, but we'll express it differently, and we'll have different ways of going about the same thing. But that's the beauty. That's what makes it so beautiful and interesting and intriguing. Instead of us all being this egotistical person acting and talking the same and restraining who you are and holding yourself in. That is boring. That time has passed. We've been trapped within ourselves. Our souls have been entrapped inside this body and forgotten that we were meant to be operating the body. We allowed the body, the mind, to operate and take control. We allowed the mind to go in the driver's seat when really and truly it should be the soul in the driver's seat. The mind is a tool. The mind should just come in, I got to get this done and I got to plan this, and that's it. But apart from that, apart from planning and getting things done, we should be vibrating in our spirit, in our soul, in truth. The mind it should just be there for the logical part, the planning bit. You know what I'm saying? We leave our house and we got to go and do a couple things. Yeah, you go into the logical, the mind, you're in the masculine energy, but you should, when you come home, you sort of leave that at the door. Unwind, let go of that and become back to true self. Don't walk in and still carry that energy because there's no need for it anymore. There's no need for that energy anymore. That energy is a tool for doing certain things, for getting things done. We don't have to vibrate in it all day, all night. You see? But anyway, I'm going to leave the video there. I didn't even plan for it to go on that long. But peace and love, people. Hope you all have a good day. Keep it positive. Keep it blessed. I want to say thank you again to my subscribers and followers. I'm grateful, man. I'm grateful. I'm grateful for everything that's happening in my life right now. I'm grateful, and I'm happy to be able to just express what's helped me through my life, through my journey, and what's helped me get to where I am now. And I feel like I want to share that. You know what I'm saying? Because I've been in the dark places. I know what it's like. I've been there. I dwelled there. And yeah, man. So I would do anything to help people to come out of that place. That's the type of soul I am. Obviously, I've got to help myself as well. I've got to give myself and make sure my cup's full before I start giving out. Something I had to learn along the way. I used to try and give too much, but give when I didn't even have nothing to give. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, it's all about balance. It's all about balance, about learning how to balance every single part of your life. You've got to learn how to balance it. That's it. Something that one of my trickiest lessons, I ain't gonna lie to you, was finding balance. I could be extreme. You see what I'm saying? So, yeah. Anyway, have a good day and we'll catch up soon. Strictly love.